Greek mythology, Aphrodite, the goddess born from foam. From the primordial beings born out of chaos, the earth goddess Gaia gave birth to Uranus, the god of the sky. They soon fell in love, and powerful beings like the Titans, Cyclops, and Hecatoncheires were born. However, Uranus feared his children and oppressed them, filling Gaia with sorrow and anger at their suffering. She created a great sickle from flint and asked her youngest and bravest son, Cronus, to overthrow his father and free his imprisoned siblings. On the fateful night, Cronus castrated his father with the sickle given by his mother and threw his genitals into the sea. It fell into the sea, but because it was part of an immortal god's body, it did not decay and floated on the surface of the sea for a long time, retaining its vitality. Eventually, Uranus's severed genitals floated in the ocean, causing foam to form around them. From this divine foam, Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, emerged. Because of the way she was born, her name, Aphrodite, means foam born in Greek. As she rose from the sea, she was carried by the waves to the island of Cyprus. When Aphrodite stepped onto the land, flowers bloomed beneath her feet, and nature rejoiced at her arrival. And the goddesses of the four seasons, the Horae, guided Aphrodite to the various gods of the heavens. The primordial god of love, Eros, who had no form, believed that it was natural for love to follow beauty, and thus, he was later conceived by Aphrodite himself. She was radiant and so beautiful that even the gods were struck by her charm. She became a goddess who could make everyone alive fall in love, infusing their lives with desire and passion. Aphrodite's influence was immediate, and she quickly took her place among the Olympian gods. Her beauty was so overwhelming that the gods began to fight over who would marry Aphrodite. Zeus, the king of the gods, feared that her beauty might cause conflict among the gods, so he decided to marry her off to prevent any disputes. Taking advantage of the Golden Throne incident, Hephaestus, the god of fire and blacksmiths, demanded to marry Aphrodite. Despite his physical imperfections, he was known for his skill and craftsmanship. Hephaestus had always been an outcast among the gods due to his lameness, but he had a kind heart and gentle nature. Zeus believed that Hephaestus would be a good match for Aphrodite, as he would not be a threat to the other gods and could provide stability. However, Aphrodite did not find Hephaestus, with his lameness, attractive. Instead, she was drawn to Ares, the god of war, who was handsome, bold, and strong. Their initial interactions were filled with flirtation and playful banter, each testing the other's boundaries. Ares admired Aphrodite's wit and intelligence, while she appreciated his unwavering confidence and bravery. She had hoped to marry Ares, the god of war, with whom she had a passionate affair. Despite her reluctance, the marriage went ahead, and Hephaestus did his best to win her affection by creating beautiful jewelry and magnificent palaces. Hephaestus even made Aphrodite a magical girdle called the cestus Haemontes, which could enchant any man she desired. Despite his efforts, Aphrodite continued her affair with Ares, which caused much heartache for Hephaestus. One day, the god of the sun, Apollo, was riding his chariot across the sky, when he noticed something unusual happening in the palace of Hephaestus. Apollo saw Aphrodite in a compromising position with Ares. They were clearly engaged in an affair. Knowing that Hephaestus was Aphrodite's husband, Apollo decided to inform him about the affair. Apollo approached Hephaestus and told him everything he had seen. Hephaestus was furious and heartbroken. He decided to set a trap to catch the lovers in the act. Using his skills, Hephaestus crafted an unbreakable net made of the finest metals. He had set his trap perfectly. The unbreakable net he crafted was invisible and placed strategically over the bed, where Aphrodite and Ares would meet. When Aphrodite and Ares entered the room, they were completely unaware of the trap. They lay down on the bed, and as soon as they were entangled in each other's arms, the net fell upon them, ensnaring them completely. Hephaestus, having anticipated this moment, immediately summoned the other gods to witness the scene. Among those who arrived were Poseidon, god of the sea, Hermes, messenger god, and Apollo, god of the sun. The gods gathered around, and there was a mix of reactions. Some laughed at the sight, while others were shocked. Poseidon, Hermes, and Apollo were particularly struck by the beauty of Aphrodite, who was caught in the net with Ares. Despite the embarrassing situation, Aphrodite's allure was undeniable. The gods couldn't help but be captivated by her beauty, even in such a compromising position. Poseidon, known for his many romantic escapades, was particularly interested. He approached Hephaestus and suggested that the lovers be released, promising to ensure that Ares would pay for his actions. Hermes and Apollo, too, found themselves drawn to Aphrodite. They began to think of ways to win her favor, each plotting in their own way to gain her attention. Hephaestus, seeing the reactions of the other gods, decided to release Aphrodite and Ares. He knew that keeping them trapped would only cause more trouble and embarrassment. As soon as they were freed, Aphrodite and Ares quickly fled the scene, humiliated, but relieved to be out of the net. The gods laughed at the sight, but they also felt sympathy for Hephaestus. Despite the humiliation, Aphrodite and Ares continued their affair. In the end, Aphrodite and Hephaestus remained married, but their relationship was never truly happy or fulfilling.